Welcome to the Painless Flipping Podcast, where I bring on experts and people that are in the industry that are taking on the deals, taking on real estate deals, and we learn from them. And today I got Mark Lefleur. Is that right?
That's right. That's right, man. How are you?
We got Mark Lefleur, who's a chef, ultimate chef. He's going to tell us how he got into real estate investing. Mark actually reached out to me, so letting me know about some of the deals he's been doing recently. And I said, man, let's talk about your journey in real estate, because it doesn't matter where you're at in real estate, whether you just started and you're kind of dialing and you're trying to figure it out, whether you've done a couple deals or you're done hundreds of deals or thousands of deals. You can learn from everybody because everybody has something to offer. So Mark, I wanted to bring you on here and kind of learn what's your journey been like, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself in like 60 seconds. Just kind of give us a little intro, and then we'll start just chatting it up.
Yeah, man. Thanks, appreciate it.
Course, yeah.
Well, married, 6 kids, and so spent a lot of the time with the family.
Yeah, you got to with 6 kids, right?
First and foremost, yeah, 100%.
That's awesome.
And got into real estate. Well, started. My interest in real estate has kind of always, been around as a young man, in my 20s, early 20s. Around 2015, started listening to Bigger Pockets, a lot of Bigger Pockets all the time.
Yeah.
Basically turned off the radio anytime I was in the car. Stopped listening to music since 2015, more or less.
Good for you, man.
And
That's
just
amazing.
trying to listen to as much stuff about real estate as possible. So fast forward, like 2019. So I stumbled around for like 4 years, trying to do deals. Did 1 or 2 successfully with the help of a local mentor. But that relationship didn't work out, in the long term. But at least I knew the concept was real, so that was pretty sweet. So yeah, 2000. That brings us to 2019, where I started taking it more seriously. And in 2022, May of 22, actually, I invested in a course. So up until this point, I was more doing houses, and I switched to vacant land after I bought this course here. And it's taken off like a rocket since then. So really since May 22 up until now, I've done the bulk of all my transactions, and I'm having a ball, making money. So it's
Dude,
great.
I love to hear that, man. So you were doing houses and it was a struggle, right?
Getting my teeth kicked in. Yeah.
Getting your teeth kicked in. Where were you doing deals? Like, where were you trying to do houses? Miami? Okay.
Yeah.
And
I'm in Miami, so my backyard.
And when you went to lots, what did you do with lots? Like, is it Miami still or somewhere else?
No, then I switched to nationwide.
Okay.
Because under the tutelage of my mentor, I was exposed to how really you can do a parcel of land. You can do a transaction anywhere.
Right.
You got to get somebody to take a look at it, but there's a lot less moving parts. So I'm open to buying anywhere, but primarily I'm in Florida right now, still buying lots.
Yeah. So I want to hear about this. So you said in your intro, 6 kids. That's awesome, man. That must be super fun with the family when you get together. Yeah. What age, if you don't mind me asking, like what is the age range?
Yeah. The eldest is 19. He'll be 20 in February.
Amazing.
And the youngest is 6.
Let's go. Family,
a bit of a range there. Yeah.
I love that,
6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and 19.
Amazing. And do they see you doing this real estate stuff? Are they interested, or what's going on with that?
You know what, man? They see me working all the time. So,
yeah.
Like I said, I'm still doing some part-time private chef work, and so they've always seen me working with clients. I'm coming and going, and doing my thing. I haven't had a regular job in over 10 years. I've been 100% self-employed. So they always see me moving and shaking. What's that?
I'm assuming you like that because you've been doing it for a while, right?
Yeah. I mean, I worked in restaurants, catering companies with other chefs for a long time. And, all that's good. That's good experience. But at the end of the day, I'm kind of a wild card. It's really tough taking orders from other people. It's just something in my DNA. I just don't like it. I don't like being told what to do. I'd rather do what I want, and
Yeah.
yeah, even if I make less money, I'm happier doing what I want. So
Do you like to dance to the beat of your own drum, man?
that's right,
You like to be in charge. I like that. You know, I'm the same way.
100%. As far as the
So,
kids, you asked if they're
mhm.
interested. I'm trying to get my eldest, the 19-year-old, interested.
Yeah, yeah.
He's still a really young man. He's timid. He's not very outspoken.
Mhm.
He's kind of shy and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So you know what I mean. He wants to, like many young men his age, make money as an influencer on
Mm.
YouTube or like
Mm.
drop shipping and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like I'm gonna support you either way. I'm trying to get him over to this side. He sees the checks. He's like, oh yeah, I want some of that money. But he's not quite committed to the process that it takes. Not yet. He just needs some more seasoning in life. So he'll get there.
Yeah, yeah, and it's really hard to instill a desire in people. It really is, man. Like, you either want it or you don't. But obviously, you can influence and you can show it by example. But to really get them to buy in,
Hmm.
that's what I do for work. You know, that's what the painless living apprenticeship is. We get people to buy in. And it takes time. It takes effort, right? Like, it's
Sure.
even if people want it, then you got to do the work, and
Right.
then doing that work. You know
It's a
how
whole
that
nother
is. I
story.
mean, you've been
Yeah.
doing the work for 10 years. Like sometimes you want something, and you're like, well, dang, I got to do this to get it. You know, it's a lot.
Hmm.
It takes a lot. So let me ask you this. So about talking about that type of work and getting your son to do it, and he's like, oh man, I see those checks. What kind of work does it take to do the amount of deals you're doing, or do a deal? What would you say? Because I want to hear from your experience.
Yeah. I mean, if you ask me, make 100 offers as fast as possible. If you're doing anything other than making 100 offers, you're wasting your time. Just make
Gotcha.
100 offers. It doesn't matter where you get the leads, how that happens. You can screw them all up. Make 100 offers. I guarantee you're getting closer to your first deal. So just
Now,
just count that one metric.
I love that. I love that. So let me ask you this, because in the I would say the house game, making a ton of offers, I don't see it being as efficient or effective because there's so much involved, right?
Yeah.
There's so much trust that needs to be involved. Like if the agent gets like a real estate agent has a listing and they just get a ton of offers, like a lot of the time they don't know who that is. They don't know if they can perform. They don't want to put their name on the line. But would you say there's a difference in just making tons of offers in land versus making tons of offers in single family?
Yeah, there is a difference for sure. Land is just more transactional in nature in general because there's less emotion tied
Mm-hmm.
up into it. I say less because there's not no emotion. I have been cussed out by plenty of
Yeah,
landowners
of
who have
course.
told me that my daddy grew tobacco on this land, and my granddaddy grew tobacco on this land, and I grew
Right.
tobacco on this land, and I'm not selling for a penny less than X.
Yeah.
Fine. So that does happen. Nonetheless, it's less emotional. You get a lot of people who just don't want it anymore, probably going to lose it to taxes. They inherited it. They don't have any basis into it. So for them, it's just like a someday check because they can liquidate it at any time. Um, so yes, yes, it's easier in that sense, but
Mhm.
for sure, you still have to build some rapport. You have to have the person that you're talking to know, like, and trust you,
Of
or
course.
else that
Yeah.
offer doesn't mean squat. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, there's a
Got
little bit of that. Yeah, for sure.
So let's preface. I'll preface this for when you're making offers. It's not just like an auto generator just sending multiple offers. You're making legit offers where you're talking to
Yeah,
someone before you make the offer.
absolutely. Yeah, I don't just send out offers blindly.
Okay,
I know some, like, that's pretty popular in the land game, like sending
that's what
blind
I thought
offers,
you were doing for some reason. Yeah.
and I never got into that. Um, Primarily because mail is expensive. So
Mail is
I've
expensive.
spent like
Yeah.
I spent like 8 grand on direct mail when I first got started, like
Yeah.
with that mentor, and I did do 3 deals off of it over the course of a year.
Okay.
But I basically broke even. Like I was profitable, but like I made like $1,000 when it was
Like
all said and
over a
done.
year's time, right? Yeah. So the
Yeah,
mail.
over like 12 to 18 months.
Yeah, and
Because they
the
don't all
mail.
call
Yeah.
at the same time.
Exactly, right? So mail hits at different times, right? Like at least the deals.
Hmm.
So when you're calling these sellers of these land, are you making the offer or are they kind of giving you an idea of where they want to be and it's kind of close, or are you usually having to lowball them and just kind of cross your fingers and hope they accept the offer? How does that usually go for the ones that you do get?
Yeah, well, so I am not talking to sellers as much these days,
Mm-hmm.
but I can speak to when I was. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'd call them up and I'd ask them, "Hey, you're interested in an offer on this property?" And they either say yes or no. And if they say yes, I just try to kind of confirm a couple of things about the property. Try to figure out if they ever had any plans for building on it. Like if it's an infill lot, depending on the property, I have some
Right.
questions that I want to ask just to get them to open up and talk to me a little bit. And then I always ask them, not as quickly as possible because I don't want to seem aggressive, but
Right.
pretty early on in the conversation, I'm asking, yeah, well, what do you want for this thing?
Right.
And I don't know how many, more often than not, they don't throw a number out there. They're like, well, you called me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Because
I've
a
heard
lot of
that
times
before.
in wholesaling, they sometimes are in the money, right? Like they'll say, I just want this. And it's like, all right, that's already a deal. And those are like low hanging fruit. And so I don't know if like your experience has been just like a lot of the deals that you've done, or like people you happen to call at the right time and you're in the money, or it's like, okay, I had to, build rapport, make the offer that was lower, and then, go from there. So yeah.
Yeah,
What would you say to
more
that?
building rapport, make the offer that was lower. I guess a handful of times it's a lay down, and then I still negotiate them a little more,
Of
so
course.
so I
Yeah.
don't
If
make them
someone,
feel like they won or they left
right,
money on
right.
the table.
Yeah, you never want
Um,
to give if it's a lay down, they say, I'll take 90 for it. And you're like, okay, sounds good. They usually are like, wait, hold on. Maybe I can get more for it. So you
yeah,
don't
never
want to
do that.
yeah,
Yeah,
never
don't
do
do
that,
that.
everybody.
Always negotiate a little bit. You got to make them feel like you guys have to do the dance, and
Got
then
to do
they
the
they
dance.
have to lead in the dance, but you're really leading. You got to make them feel like they fought and won for it. So, yeah,
I
always
love that.
negotiate a little more for sure. But
That's
these
amazing.
days,
Yeah.
just to
Yeah. Tell me
expound
what
a
you're
little
doing
bit
these
on
days.
that,
Yeah, yeah.
these days my website's bringing in the majority of the leads, and these leads are hot and ready like Little Caesars. You know what I mean? They raised their
Wow.
hand, they filled out 2 forms on my website, and they're waiting for a call. You know what I
How'd
mean?
you get
So
the
I get
website to generate leads? Is it SEO?
SEO. Yeah,
Great
yeah.
job. How'd you learn how to do that?
I had been doing it for my other business, the chef business,
Okay.
so I've been doing it for over 10 years now.
So
So
you
I'm no
you know how to
stranger
roll.
to it, and I know that it's effective, and it doesn't create the volume of leads that you'd expect, but
Of
when they
course.
do come through, they are ready to go, man. Like they're kind of like PPC or PPL leads. You know what I
Of
mean?
course.
They're just like they're they're reaching out to me, so I have an upper hand in the conversation. You know what I mean? I kind of hold the cards with a little bit of leverage. So in those situations, I'm asking them straight up, "What do you want for it?" You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Because they're coming to
and they're
you.
gonna tell me every time. They never, "Oh well, well, you called me, you filled out my thing on the website." Well, I didn't call you. So what do
How
you want?
long? I have a question about your SEO. How long have you been doing that site? Because I know it can take some time to get that SEO going. Or did you just do it recently and it's popping off already?
No, it takes seasoning. It's been live for 4 years now. It's been
Okay,
live
4 years.
since 2020.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 2020, and what was the SEO that you did around it? Was it like specific location, like hey land? Or are you saying nationwide land? Like what? How did you go about that?
Concentration on vacant land and mobile homes in Florida.
Okay, so specific. You weren't just nationwide. That's too broad. You had to go specific.
You can go broad with SEO, but
Mhm.
I just want to focus on Florida as my primary market.
I love that, man. Okay. Well, dude, I've learned a lot from you, man. So tell me, I know you reached out and I'd love to bring people on, but I want to know how we got connected. I know you reached out, but how did you find out about, what I got going on? I know
Yeah,
you said, yeah, let me know.
well, I listen to a lot of YouTube, so I always have. So
I love it.
probably 2 to 3 hours of educational content on YouTube, kind of stuff like what we're doing right now, just people talking
Yeah.
about their story and what have you. Just picking up nuggets and inspiration. And since I don't have like a local community of people really doing it, it's nice to hear other people and what they got going on,
Right.
etc. So I can't remember when I first heard about you and your stuff there. Maybe it was on a Jerry Norton.
That's yeah. Me
But
and Jerry are pretty tight,
that's
so I probably came through Jerry Norton's, and then you probably
maybe.
found me that way. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You were talking about how you do your thing and your approach to the business and so on. And I really resonated with that. Excuse me. I really resonated with that. So, I stole some of your stuff, of course, and I
Yeah.
implemented it into my
Love it.
business. And I hit you up because I was actually interested in the JV, or not JV, but the marketing agreement or whatever documentation that you have
Right.
to give
That's
to
right.
buyers.
Hmm.
Because um, and correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I understand, you kind of work with the buyers a little bit more intimately, depending on the deal, and then you have them sign directly, and you have this agreement, and they pay you. I can't remember if it was outside of title or inside
Yeah.
of title, but not on the HUD or whatever it was. I wanted that documentation because I'm doing that now, and it's more on like a handshake. They always
Yeah.
send me the
Yeah.
money, but I kind of just want some paperwork just because, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm doing it
Yeah,
with
I
more
I
new
remember
people.
you I do
So
remember now that you asked me for that. So this is
yeah,
what I do. I work when I have a buyer that I know wants a deal and it's a handshake. I create an invoice on my CRM. I have a
okay,
CRM that you can create invoices. You can create an invoice anywhere, right?
sure,
So I create an invoice and then I send it to them in DocuSign or PandaDoc, and I put my signature and their signature at the end of like $5,000 or whatever we're agreeing on, right? For the consulting fee. Does that make sense?
okay,
I
yeah,
send that over to them. I sign it, they sign it, and it says blank is agreeing to pay this buyer's agreeing to pay this for the consulting fee. I send that to once we sign it, we send it to the title company that the deal is closing on, and the title company knows what's going on. In the description of the invoice says my invoice information, like for not my invoice, my wire information. So when the deal
hmm,
closes, the title company just wires me the money, wires me the
gotcha,
funds.
yeah,
So it's an invoice that's sent to the title company, and the title company knows what's going on because the seller is like, the buyer's like, yeah, this is this is who I'm working with. This is a consulting fee. So they pay it
hmm,
out. So you never have to worry about like your buyer kind of paying you because the title company's in the loop. And
hmm,
if they
hmm,
don't want to get the title company like to disperse the funds, then I would kind of be a little cautious about that. I'd be like, well, why not? That's how I usually do it. But
right.
if they're like, oh, I'll just give it to you later, that's fine. Like if you have a good relationship. But for me, it's just easy. It's just like, hey, when the transaction closes, just the title company will just send me the money. It's easy.
Right, right, right. Because buyers, they're like squirrels, man. As soon as they get that one nut, they're on to the next one. They're like halfway done with it. They drop it. They're running back and forth. And sometimes they don't mean to kind of like keep you waiting.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Agreed.
that you don't always get paid right away. I learned that the hard way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I close outside of title with like 2 or 3 buyers, and sometimes those buyers we close inside a title as well. I
Yeah.
recently had a title agent tell me like, hey, I need an agreement. I'm like, we've done like 3 4 5 of these without an agreement, but now you
Right.
want one, and that's fine. So that's why I started like thinking, all right, let me just always have it go through title. I'll always have the HUD as well, so I can keep track of my deals for tax purposes and just
Right.
for proof that I'm actually doing the business. And so that's how we met, and you were gracious enough to ask me to, just kind of share what I got going on here. So I appreciate it.
I love it, man. Yeah. So I hope what I said helps you. I think like if they want an agreement, that you could say that technically is an agreement, right? Like it's
Sure, it is.
paperwork that's signed. If they want something a little bit more exclusive, you could write something up. But mainly it's a consulting fee. That's it,
Got it.
right?
Got it. Got it.
So yeah, man. Well, it's been a pleasure, and I want you to stay in touch. And I know that I've learned a lot from you and from the way you operate the business, and I know a lot of people have as well. So if anybody wants to reach out to you just to connect, where can they hit you up, man?
Yeah, I mean, you can give me a call or a text. My business number is 954-613-6115. That's 954-613-6115. Or you can shoot me an email, info@hitpropertygroup.com, HIT propertygroup.com. Either one of those be the best way to get in touch with me. And if you have deals, send them my way because I'm buying anywhere in Florida. Don't send me that retail stuff because I don't want it. Go find a builder. Bring me something at 60% of conservative retail value that can be supported by comps, and I'm your buyer all day long.
And we got a fan. We got a fan for you. You got Manuel. I think that's how you say it, Manuel Rank. Such an inspiring video. Mark's ability to balance being a personal chef and wholesaling real estate is amazing. Thanks for sharing his journey. Man, you got a fan
Sweet.
out here, Mark.
Thanks,
Let's
dude.
go.
I
Yeah, man.
appreciate it.
You said this was your first interview, but hey, you crushed it. So I guess watching all those other interviews, you learn how to get it done, you know?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm no stranger to talking to people.
Yep.
So
Yep. Well, congratulations, man. Always inspiration to learn from others. And I'm proud of you for taking action. And one day I know your kids are going to see, obviously, all the hard work you're doing. They're going to get into real estate in their due time if they want, right? Or maybe they might
right.
be an influencer. Who knows? Who
Yeah.
knows what
Well,
what
I
the,
told them, listen, do whatever you want to do, but always have a way to make some money, and that'll be real estate on the side over here. So when you're ready, I'm ready to teach.
I love it, man. Well, appreciate it. And we're signing off, everybody. If you like this video, please like the video, because if you like it, the algorithm says, hey, this is a good video. Let me get in front of more people. And by the way, if you guys want to learn how to wholesale, whether it's land or lots or anything, what we do is we have a free training every week in our Facebook group where we go over like the core principles of how to get into getting your first deal. And, if you want to learn how to get that first deal, pop in on our Facebook group. We do it at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today and every Thursday. Catch you guys later.
Peace.
Peace.